Please like, comment, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Today we'll be recapping, talking the tea, the gossip, the drama, everything about Housewives of Potomac. We're about to go live.
Watch us now.
Hey. So let's get right into it because this was a reunion, Potomac's part 2 of the reunion. So one thing I was surprised is a part 3 and is an hour and 30 minutes. Hopefully this will be Robin next week.
Yeah, I hope they show something very interesting that's not going to be like, okay, I just want you to tune in and then it's a flop. So don't play with us, Bravo. Bring it.
Another hour and 30 minutes because I'm like, all they need to do is bring out with Charisse. What else is left to talk about? I feel like they covered everything, this part 2. I felt like they covered everything.
Yeah, and they're going to show some footage of like Robin and the discussion, the unseen footage of Watch What Happens Live with Robin. So hopefully it'll be something new and not something stupid because that episode was a disappointment with Andy and Robin. I don't feel like Andy brought it and he should have held Robin's feet to the fire and he did not. Well,
maybe that's the uncut part we're going to see in part 3 of all the juicy tea that he did.
So that's what I hope. I'm hoping.
Bring it, Andy. Bring it on. So the reunion story of Candiace and Gizelle talk about, they're going back and forth. And Candiace once again mentions Giselle's dwindling uterus and basically was saying, you had a major medical situation going on. And instead of talking about that, you decided to talk about my husband and how you felt uncomfortable. And Candiace said, well, what did Chris do? What did Chris do? And Andy was like, well, yeah, what did Chris do? And Gizelle again said she didn't say he didn't do anything, but he just made her feel uncomfortable. Not that he did anything. It was just feeling uncomfortable. We talked about this already.
And I'm still with Gizelle on this part only. I know the some of the comments, they are angry at me, okay?
For being I'm with them.
No, they say they getting emotional. The lady said, oh, and I just want to cheers to her. She said I have a substance abuse problem.
She did not.
She said that I'm disgusting because I like not that I like Gizelle, but I condone her saying that she felt uncomfortable. Yes, I do. If someone makes you feel uncomfortable, I don't have to give a reason as to why I feel uncomfortable. It's a feeling that I get. It's my feeling, and that's what it is. And I don't need to explain myself as to why. There's no reason why I feel uncomfortable, period.
Well, she went a little bit too far, Miss Who. I don't know what your name is.
And she said, I'm bullying you.
My co-host.
Yeah, I'm bullying you, Farrah. I'm bullying you. You so you're such a target.
Don't come my co-host. However, I do agree that not with this woman, but the fact that Gizelle should have went into a little bit more detail. I think that was it. I think everyone was waiting to hear more than, you just feel uncomfortable. And Andy was trying to dig it out of her, like, what? Because you're in a room alone for married man. Like, what is it? What made you feel uncomfortable? That's what I wanted to know. She was like, he made me uncomfortable because I was in a room for a married man. I think she did say that he was complaining about his wife. I just wanted a little bit more information.
I don't need any more. I'm not giving more if I tell you I'm feeling uncomfortable. That's it. That's all I need to give you. I don't want to be in a room with your husband. I don't want him in the room complaining about you. It makes me feel uncomfortable, period.
Anyway, I'm still team Candiace. So again, Gizelle said Candiace. Well, Gizelle did say something that you said, that Candiace made this bigger than it really needed to be. Candiace should have edited it, kind of like, okay, whatever, move on. But it seemed like she made it into a snowball to where it got bigger and bigger and bigger and became a hot topic. I mean, I kind of agree with Gizelle. You should.
Okay. No, you agree with me too.
A bigger issue.
You agree with me too.
Yeah, I agree with Gizelle and you because the same way she dismissed Muppet Face, that's how she should have just dismissed Gizelle. But I think the reason why Candiace went on about it was because it's Gizelle and is a cast member, where the Muppets, she knew they were doing it for clout and no one was really paying attention to the Muppet. So I think that's why it was a little bit more. She felt like, look, let me address this right now. Because it's Gizelle. I know how messy she is. I don't need her going on interviews so while my husband is doing this. I don't need her tweeting anything. Let me shut it down. I think that's why she approached Gizelle like that. And she thought her and Gizelle were friends. And that Chris and them and all of them, they had like somewhat of a mutual friendship. So it also became a shocker to Candiace. Me feel like, I
don't know. I just don't. I agree with Candiace did make it too much, but I get at the end where now you find out about Robin holding back, stories and keeping things a secret. Then that's when I would be upset. But during the season, Candiace like kind of just going on and on, pulling Gizelle to the side, all of this other stuff, crying, tissue, like all of that was just giving it more of a platform and more of a like shine, a bright light. And it didn't need to be.
Yeah, it could have been one episode or two and that's it. But this carried on. So Candiace said Gizelle tried to make Chris look like a predator. And basically they went back and forth with the situation of, again, Ashley's friend saying that Chris was flirting with her, and they kind of showed the video and showed that he wasn't paying, he didn't do anything. Then here goes Ashley being shady. Well, the video didn't match what he was saying. But what I did like is Ashley did kind of say, well, what her friend said based on what she saw in the video didn't match. So I don't feel like Ashley was still trying to stand up for her friend. She kind of was like, oh, well, maybe she didn't fully tell the truth or, fabricated a little bit. She didn't say that, but she implied it when she said the video doesn't match what her friend said.
Yeah, I think she did imply that she was still on the fence about it. It wasn't like she just threw her friend under the bus and was like, oh, my friend is lying. She kind of exaggerated a little bit. It's still like she was kind of like 50-50 with it, still saying that, the words didn't match up. She still kind of like didn't like fully give Candiace and Chris credit for her friend lying.
Yeah. So then they went in to talk about the video with Candiace, talk about all the ladies on the show. And here goes Robin saying that she felt that Candiace was talking about her because she, Wendy, and Karen are the ones with businesses. And, Candiace made a comment about them peddling businesses on the show. I mean, I don't like Robin, but I see where I could agree with her on that. I mean, if you're saying about peddling businesses and everything else, Robin has a business. The hat.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably be offended by it, but if we're friends, I mean, I guess a part of it is like if you're on a show and like say me and you were on the show, I probably, it is kind of petty. If you did say something, I probably would bring it on the show. We getting paid for this. This is not that big of a deal. I probably would bring it on the show where we can hash it out. That is something that could be some substance for the show. So I probably would.
Yeah. And Candiace said Robin looks stupid for playing the audio. I mean, the way she did it, though, was kind of like, if you're going to bring some tea, bring it better. Throwing your Alexa on the table. Like, it was just too much.
But we're talking about Robin. Robin, like, who does not have a storyline. She's going to grasp at anything. She's going to throw ish against the wall and hope it sticks. So, this is not like, an all-star MVP. No.
I mean, not she does Robin. Have a storyline that she kept a secret.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. She doesn't even know when to bring it. She doesn't even know how to keep the paycheck rolling in. She's skating on thin ice. She doesn't even know how to make some substance of anything in that show.
So Robin said something that made me almost fall out of my bed. When she said everything we do should happen on camera.
Oh my God.
That's what she said when it was going back and forth with Candiace and everything. It's like everything that happens, everything we do should happen on camera. And shady editors went back 2 weeks. 2 weeks into the interview that they did with Robin, and Andy addressed Robin saying how Candiace feels the type of way, kind of angry with Robin that she wasn't honest on camera.
And I love how Bravo. What'd you say?
I think everybody should be upset with her.
And I love how Bravo is not holding back the punches. They are really holding her accountable by the editing. Even when they started out with this show for this reunion, they started out with her Watch What Happens Live interview. They're really showcasing that Robin was wrong, that she held back a storyline, and everything is coming out in the light now. So I like the way the editors are throwing things in there now at the last minute, because I don't think Robin played it right she played this so wrong the way she did it. Because if you were going to do this, and if you were, calculating, like you would know, like, okay, I'm gonna say this during it. You wouldn't say something like what she said. Oh, you got to bring everything for the cameras. Like she just played everything so wrong, because now everyone's gonna hold her words to her. Like they're gonna hold her accountable to what she's saying.
Exactly. If I know I'm not telling you all my business, that's not a comment I would have made, because you see, I quoted her.
Mm-hmm.
I know the tea. Hey, ladies. Hey, Yvette. Hey, Joanne. Thank you for joining. Comment below. Let us know. Let's debate. Let's agree, and let's disagree.
Yes.
So the next thing was Wendy said, Wendy says she felt type of way when Candiace said Robin was the most loyal in the group. Wendy, get over yourself. But that's what she said. That's how she said she felt. And I kind of get it, because it seems like her and Wendy and Candiace do have a genuine friendship. So I think her saying, Robin is the most loyal friend on the show did kind of bother Wendy, because Wendy seems to be loyal. I haven't heard her say anything negative about Candiace, and Candiace hadn't said anything negative about Wendy.
Yeah, and
not yet anyway. So they went into Andy went into Karen and discussed her live show and asked Karen, which did she copy? Especially, it seems like she kind of does copy others. Others on the show, like Wendy and that wick candle, and now the live show. She said her show is more a variety show, like Carol Burnett. It's not really a live show, which I think it was somewhat different than Gizelle and Robin's. Robin's and Giselle's like a sit me down podcast. Yeah. I think Karen just threw a lot of stuff in her show. Drag queens. I think she had comedians. She did a lot of stuff. If I had to go to anyone's show, I would rather go to Karen's, to be honest. It looked a little bit more entertaining. I probably would have gotten at least a few good laughs.
She had comedians. I would like a variety rather than stupid games and Gizelle and Robin not even talking about, even on their podcast. Even now, I still try to give them a chance. I'll listen to the first couple of minutes. I'll scroll through it, listen to the middle, listen to the end. All throughout it, they're not recapping anything. They're not going over any of the ladies, what we know them for Potomac. Like, go over something in the franchise. And that's what all the other housewives do that have a podcast. They go over to kind of give us a behind the scenes look and kind of shed light onto really what's going on, as in the episode. And they don't talk about nothing. They talk about their neighbors. Oh, my house. Oh my goodness. I tripped and fell. It's like stupid. It's not interesting at all to me.
Yeah, I don't know why anybody would listen to their podcast. And it said they had that many viewers or listeners.
Remember, Charlamagne said that the fans came in and they was crying like they was meeting Michael Jackson.
She said what?
They said that when some of the fans came into their live show, they were crying on sight of Gizelle and Robin, like as if they were Michael Jackson in the flesh.
You got crazy, stupid fans out there, so who knows? So we got two new people in here joining. Shantae Petty said part 2. Yes, girl, that's what we're talking about, part 2. And Drew Process said I'm late responding because I kept getting kicked out. Oh, sorry. Giselle had a right to feel comfortable. Oh, please. I question why she continued to be around Chris, and she's always so touchy and flirty with him.
Exactly. But I wouldn't be touching a party.
Due process. How is she supposed to have a right to feel comfortable, but then she's always around Chris and she's always touchy?
Well, is she still touchy now? Like, I don't know. I don't remember seeing her. They weren't together. That, for her to be touching. I haven't seen anything this season where she's touchy and all of this other stuff. I think it was after the hotel. She kind of was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, I don't know about this. Because I didn't see anything during the season.
Oh, we had some compliments in the chat. Thank you, Yvette. So we look beautiful. And Shantae Pretty. Oh, hey, Pretty. She said, yeah, I look cute. See, we have some people that like us. Not everybody's haters.
Yes.
So now let's get right to Gizelle and her hysterectomy. Andy asked her about it. She mentioned it was supposed to be not a minor procedure, but a procedure that was supposed to last, I guess, 6 hours, not that long, maybe 4 hours. It was 8. The kids were worried. The doctor wasn't giving any update. Gizelle got very emotional And one thing about Gizelle, she looks like she holds a lot in. She doesn't want to show emotion, especially on camera in front of everyone. I love Andy at that point. I could have hugged and kissed Andy. He's like, no, we're going to talk about it right now.
Exactly.
I said, Andy, give it to Gizelle, because she was like, oh, we'll talk about it later. He said, no, we're going to talk about it right now.
Exactly. This is what the show is about. You're going to talk to me behind the scenes when you're getting a paycheck to be on site, on scene with your stories, and you want to talk, and you're going to tell me as your boss? Oh, no. I love the way he put his foot down.
And she's like, okay. She didn't challenge him. So Shantae said Gizelle's lonely and a hater. Oh, we know that. She's a hater. She's lonely. Just because she's pretty don't mean she can't be a hater. She's a hater. She's a hater.
I don't think she's I don't think she's a hater.
What?
I don't think she's a hater. I think she has Robin's back, which that's her bestie. So I think she is responsible for covering up the story and trying to shed light on the whole Chris debacle. I do think she made more of that than it needed to be to cover up her friend's story. And I think as far as being lonely, maybe, I mean, when you're single, you do have lonely times, but do I think she's lonely, ruining relationships and all of that? No.
I think she's a hater because I haven't seen Gizelle here, except for Robin, support someone in such a way and not throw shade. Even Candiace, who's her friend, when she had her music, when she went to the video premiere, she threw a little shade in that. And that's supposed to be your friend. Anything other than Robin, she also throws a little dab at anything that's in.
But are they her real friends? I don't know if they're her real friends like Robin is. I don't know. And I think she's playing.
That's my whole thing. Friends or not, if you're in a group circle and someone's winning and doing well, I could say something positive and not throw shade. That's how I feel.
Listen, if I'm getting $1 million paycheck, I don't know. You might got to take a little shade, girl.
Yeah, but the shade is in the confessional. So this doesn't make any sense. If you're trying to do shades to get a scene out of someone, you're doing it in the confessional.
I don't know. I think Gizelle, she's sitting by Andy. She's doing something right.
Well, Shantae says, girl, she believes just a hater. Yeah, she behaves just like a hater. I agree. Why tell millions of people Guan got on the... Yeah, well, I think that was an error. That one, I don't know if she was being a hater, but maybe she was, Shantae. You having me opening my eyes now. But
I don't think so. I think that was a mistake.
Just slipped out of her mouth.
Me too, because I've had those instances where it was like, oh my goodness, I didn't want people to, like my girlfriend said that to me before, and I said that to her too. When you reveal something around a group of people you think know the tea that don't know the tea, and you don't want them to know the tea. So I get that was a slip up on Gizelle's part because she's not going to go against Robin.
Correct.
We know that.
So Andy said something like, she understands what some of the women say, or fans that Gizelle talks about petty stuff or get involved in everybody else's business, but did not basically expose any of her personal business. So Gizelle made a comment, well, I'm not going to talk about my help to people I don't like, and went like this and pointed at Wendy. So she's like, I'm not going to be around the table and see. And she says she basically have talked about it, but that's not what the producer put out. The producers did not show those things, supposedly. That's what she's saying. But again, she did point to Wendy and said she didn't like her. I mean, I kind of agree. If I don't like you, and one thing I do like about Gizelle, if she don't like you, she lets it be known. She stands by her actions and her words. I have to say that. If she doesn't come off as the fake person. If I don't like you, I won't do nothing. She don't like Wendy. She publicly has said it. She said it behind Wendy's back. She said it in front of Wendy's face. So I understand that they didn't build the scene for her to kind of talk about it. She said she did talk about it with Robin.
But she probably didn't. She probably talked about it, touched on it a little bit. The way she digs into people and she's relentless, she should have been like that with some of her stories. And I think that's where she's kind of messing up. If you're going to be messy, you want to expose people, you got to reveal your life also and make some footage out of it and substantiate your existence too with your own life, not just with other people's lives. And that's where she's messing up. She's tripping over her own stardom. You don't just expose other people. You got to expose yourself too, girl. So that's one thing that she messed up on.
Agreed. So Candiace said Gizelle bullies people. I totally agree. She is a bully. I totally agree. She has a very strong personality, but she has a bullying personality. She does bully people. But I'm happy the women there are strong enough to stand up for themselves.
That's what I'm saying. You got to stand up for it. She's trying to still keep the paychecks rolling in. I think there's a lot of people and some of the other franchises that kind of like Mia, that's like all over the place. She don't know what to say. She just throwing ish at the wall, hoping it sticks. Where I feel like Gizelle, she's working a little bit harder for some of her storylines. She's not exposing her own, which she should be. But I think when it comes to other people, that she is exposing them, and rightly so. I don't think she's being a hater. She's playing her position.
I agree. So the next scene with Mia. Oh, they went into the next scene. Oh, wait. Shantae said Mia's a liar, period. Oh, well, we didn't get to Mia yet. Andy asked her. So then they start talking, asked Mia
Anthony
about the throwing the drink. And Wendy got emotional. Wendy basically got very emotional.
I felt her.
I did too. I did. I really felt like, oh my God, this is affected her a little bit more. She said, I like the fact that she said it took everything not to F up Mia. And I think she definitely F up Mia. I don't recall Mia apologizing. So Mia said at the time she did it because Wendy was talking about stuff that she didn't want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So it did kind of affect me when Wendy said that. What was your thoughts?
My thoughts was I did feel like, because coming from like, so I lived in some rough areas throughout New York, and I know one thing people do, and the most hood chicks that's ready to throw down and beat somebody down is before they beat somebody down, the emotions, they will cry like a baby, because the emotions is like just overwhelming. And that's what I felt like with Wendy. Like it took everything to her to hold back from beating the crap out of Mia. But she held it down, and she reminded me like one of the hood chicks that held it together, but she was just boiling mad. Like where tears was just, she couldn't even help it.
Well, I don't know if she handled like the hood chicks, because the hood chicks would not probably hold it in. They'll be attacking Mia. Like
they would, but there's a point where you got things to lose. Even the most hood chicks, they got things to lose. They don't want to be slicing and dicing chicks because they know, they got more to lose than the person that they might, try to beat down. So it's like you hold it in. I know that's how I felt when I had tenants. When you got some deadbeat tenants, they will take you to the limits. Okay, so it'll make you want to cry because you can't do nothing else that's illegal and you'll get arrested.
I agree. Shantae, agree with you. Wendy did it very well, but I'm not Wendy. I would have lost everything I got because I would have been leaping on that table. Glass would have been thrown, hair pulled. They could not stop. They would have to stop production.
Okay, you need anger management. Okay,
production would need to end at that night. There was no way. There would be no shooting with Wendy. I wouldn't be able to take it, especially if I had my good wig or I did my hair. You don't share, and I don't know, drinks burn you in your eye, my lap. I have to say I commend Wendy.
I don't know. I would have did I don't know if you saw the episode with like Nene and what's her name, the chick that used to be on there, the white chick.
Oh, the white chick. Zodiac.
Kim Zodiac. Like I remember when on a reunion, Kim accused of pulling her hair and kind of like punching her, or smacking her or something in the parking lot or something. And Nene was like, "Was cameras there?" Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh, you're right. Because they showed the scene of Robin when Robin said, "Oh, if you're gonna do and fight her after, then that's when you."
That's what I'm saying. You got to be smart where you not like what Nene said. In more or less words, Nene was like, "Yeah, I did it, but I wasn't caught. So what?" So I'm just saying, if you're gonna do something, don't let nobody know where the bodies are buried.
I would have lost it. I would have forgot the cameras were there, and it would have been a hot mess. They would have definitely had to take me out of that whole environment. I'd have lost everything. So. I said definitely need anger management, whatever. And Shantae said tranquilize and stop. Yeah, it would have been bad. It definitely would have been bad because especially the way it happened with Wendy. If I was saying something where I feel like, well, maybe I should have got a drink thrown on my face. I don't feel like Wendy said anything that justified what Mia did.
Yeah, it didn't.
That's my issue. Oh my God, Mia was going at it. She said to Wendy, "Well, you slept with Peter. You went to Peter's restaurant." and had sex with him in the back, and I saw the video. Now, when she said that, I was like, "Woo, the girl spilled some tea." But Wendy was so calm. Wendy didn't even look shocked like when Mia made that comment. She had the face you got right now.
Because it's just, I would be the same way, because I would feel like, okay, you're trying to really, you don't even know how to hold down your position on a show where you're actually coming out with outlandish. No one believes her. So if I was Wendy too, I would sit there, and I think that Wendy's just so confident within her relationship. Even when they accused Smiley Eddie of smiling in chicks' faces, Wendy was just so cool about it. She didn't go off like Candiace. She wasn't doing nothing. Wendy is very confident about her marriage. No one could make her, unsteady about her belief in her marriage. And I was the same way when Mia spit that out and started spewing that as she's cheating and effed, what's his name? Peter. I was saying the same thing. I was like, now, girl, now you just trying too hard. Like, you don't even know how to play your role.
And they don't have quick tea because she's getting sued, supposedly, allegedly.
Mm-hmm.
So Joanne said, yeah, to control yourself when you are so angry you want to slap a face in an excellent, intelligent move and excellent control of your emotions. Well, that's not me.
You control your emotions in that. No, you control it in that moment when a spotlight is on you. But you do a Nene later on.
I'm not there. I'm not that mature yet. Even at 40 something, I'm not at that level. I don't know. I don't think I'll be able to.
One thing about me, I'm so good under pressure. I'm very good. I know how to hold it together. Like when a light is
tossed in your face. And she hit her in the head with a bag.
I think I would have held it. I think I would have held it together. Once I would have, like, if I'm like I'm a professor, I'm this, I'm that, when you know, like, these people take stuff like that very seriously and you could lose your job. I'll be thinking about my kids, my husband, my livelihood in that instance, and that would have kept it together. Now, when the cameras and production shut down, I'm telling you, you would not have been able to stop me. I would have had my driver following behind the car that you're in.
I would have forgot everything. Fire from Booker would have came out, and I probably would have been endorsed to become a fighter or an MMA fighter. I would have tore Mia in half. With the cameras on, they'd be like, "Oh, forget Housewives. We need to be in MMA.
Mm-hmm.
We need to come do the boxing match." I would have torn me apart. So, Andy asked Robin why she was calling Wendy the antagonizer, or why she felt Wendy was antagonizing Mia. I mean, I have to be honest, after it seemed like Mia was kind of calming down, Wendy was saying things to antagonize her. And I felt in a way
you said Wendy was saying things. You mean Robin was saying things to Wendy?
No, remember Andy asked, why did Robin call Wendy the antagonizer? Because at the end, you antagonize her. Why keep antagonizing? Mind you, here's Robin videotaping the whole thing. That's being antagonizing. Nobody wants to be videotaped when they're trying to remain calm. So he asked her that, and she said, well, Wendy was antagonizing Mia when she felt Mia was calming down. Wendy did. And I think in a way she wanted people to see how much out of control Mia can get, because she kept saying, here goes the CEO. Look how the CEO's acting. And Mia just kept acting up. I think that what Wendy did was good, because when Mia did, she fed right into it. She did antagonize her. I mean, I think she had no other choice, because she couldn't smack her. You have to antagonize the person at that point with your words.
You antagonize them, but you got to be able to fight back with words. That's what I'm saying. That's why it's so good to have a Kenya on deck and people that's able to articulate themselves and not just, oh my God, you're throwing a tantrum like a kid because you can't formulate or articulate your emotions in a way that's going to fight back. You fighting back with your hands and becoming violent. To me, you're emotionally unstable when you can't even fight back with words. Because I would have ripped Wendy apart if she would have killed me.
Mia, not Wendy.
No, but I'm saying Wendy was because Wendy was doing the antagonizing. Mia's the one who lost control and couldn't do nothing, and she's acting like a kid and threw a tantrum and started getting violent with throwing drinks, throwing a bag and stuff like that. Whereas I would have came back and I would have ripped Wendy a new one. She would have went home crying when I finished with her.
Not Mia. Mia can't hold her to rip somebody apart. to me. And ladies, comment. You have to be someone the same level playing field. Where Mia, Wendy is here, Mia, sorry, Mimi, you're right there. So you would have, I don't know what could she have said to Wendy to tear her apart?
No, but Wendy got insecurity. She had operations. And listen, I'm not saying that anything.
Mia had her clip done. Hello.
I know, but you got to know. Yeah, but when you fighting, when you can't bop somebody in the head or smack them or something, you got to do something else to get into that soft spot. And I feel like Wendy's soft spot is when it was exposed that Eddie was cheating. Allegedly. He wasn't. I don't know if he wasn't. I'm just saying allegedly. You could tell that's a little soft spot for her because she went crazy on Gizelle. That she got her body done. You got to zero in on these soft spots of people instead of fighting with them. So you fight with the words and then you throw that at her. And then she would have simmered down and she would have shut up because then I would have threw it in her. I would have been like, your man is cheating on you. That's why you got your body done.
I don't think that would have killed me.
That would have killed her. She would have.
Look at her crying for saying you got body done. That's when your man's cheating on you. Mia get her clip done.
Okay, what I'm saying, when it came out on page 6 or whatever last season, when she ripped Gizelle apart for bringing it on the show, when Eddie supposedly allegedly was cheating, when it came out and the paparazzi exposed it, Wendy was livid that Ashley and Gizelle were talking about it. So I keep notes on stuff like that in case somebody want to get out of line. We on the show. I would take notes on stuff like that. I'm not gonna be hip-popping you with a purse and throwing water in your head. No, you gotta hit them where it hurts.
Well, Mia, we all know she's not the smartest in the group. Let's not forget she has 6 members in her company that she supposedly is losing. So she's not the smartest. So we got a lot of comments here. So Shantae say Robin was so wrong in that moment. Yeah. Shantae said, okay, so Mia started and now Wendy antagonizing. No, Wendy needed to go off on that. Oh, I agree. She had to use her words to get Mia and it hurt. I think the words hurt Mia more than if she probably smacked in her face.
Exactly.
He said Eddie not
That's what I'm saying. That's how you gotta fight with words that penetrates.
Yeah. So I feel like that would happen. That happened. So what happened next? Okay, where's that another? Okay. Robin said Karen should have been she said Karen should have been the person to stop them. I mean, Karen didn't do anything. She should have kind of intervened a little. You had 2 friends arguing, fighting about
That's what's good about Karen. Like throughout the season, the only person that kind of activated Karen was Charisse. Karen was just kind of sitting there the whole season, scurrying away. Like there was times that Karen should have like stood her ground and stood up and said something and intervened. Not only just to be a mediator in the situation, but also to substantiate your existence. Like I don't even know why she was sitting next to Andy. She brought nothing to the show this season. Nothing.
And she was sitting right between both of them when they were arguing. So I don't know. She didn't say nothing. Maybe she wanted.
And you're older. To me, you should have more wisdom. You friends with mostly everybody. Everybody looks at you as the godmother. So look at her name. Like so, to me, it's just like I feel the same way. I agree.
Shantae said she got her body done, which was Wendy, because now she is on national TV and people get self-conscious. That's all. I agree because she was shaped like SpongeBob.
And that's what I'm saying. But all I'm saying is that when she's coming at me, the CEO, this, that, and other, you got to say stuff. Like you could tell when they was asking Wendy about her body and if she got it done and then Eddie cheating, Wendy was getting a little like defensive in those instances. Those are times where you got to take mental notes for later on when she gets out of line.
Yeah, last thing she was doing too much, exposing her behind, exposing her breast. She did way too much.
And then this was around the time when the rumors came out that Eddie was allegedly cheating. Whether he was cheating or not, I'm the type of person, when you coming at me, you antagonizing me, in my mind, he's cheating, and I'm going to make you think he's cheating.
You were like, girl, I saw Eddie with some woman the other night.
Yeah, exactly.
And he would have been probably sued like everybody else.
Listen, I would say what I heard or whatever. You got to know how to formulate your words so you don't get sued.
Like Mia, dummy again. Dumb Mia, once again, prove how dumb she is.
Okay.
Andy asked Robin about why did she lie about Cherie's holding her back. And of course, she kind of pulled back on her response. Well, I didn't say she didn't hold me back. I said she didn't have to hold me back because I wasn't going to do anything. I was just telling her I'm standing up. Whatever. I agree with Wendy. Once you're standing up, I don't know what you're capable of doing.
Yeah.
So I think when she said that, she was lying. Shantae say Wendy is secure. She is, I would say, about her marriage.
Well, then I don't know why she ripped Gizelle a new one. She should have kept it cool. Like when they was calling him Smiley Eddie, or he was smiling in people's faces and all that other stuff. I feel like that moment she was secure. But when the cheating rumors came out last season, she was.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
She was unhinged.
I agree. But people have different stages in their marriages, and maybe at the time, maybe she had her surgery, she was going through difficult times. Maybe people leaving mean comments on Wendy's page. You look SpongeBob looking, no flat ass behind. There was a lot of stuff. So that could have made her, and she just had a baby. Maybe she was a little insecure at that time. And now her body's done. She's a little bit more confident. Maybe her and Eddie spoke about it. He's probably like, little babe, I love you. I'm not doing anything. So now her self-esteem is back to where she's more confident in her marriage. Maybe at that time they were going through difficult times.
Mia should have still dug in there a little bit. I still would have touched on a little bit of
yeah, definitely.
She didn't Mia didn't bring anything to even penetrate Wendy at all. You throwing drinks, bopping on the head, you throwing little tantrums, like, so yeah.
And Wendy came out looking like the bigger, better person out of it.
Exactly. And she held her job at Johns Hopkins and everything else without having to bop somebody and smack them in the face.
Stupid. So Shantae said Gizelle deserved it. Yeah, she deserved Wendy. That was probably one after Phaedra Parks from Housewives of Atlanta. Wendy gave Gizelle one of the best reads I've seen on TV, reality TV. She tore Gizelle apart to where I was like, oh, I felt it in my gut. Like she tore Gizelle apart. So I said, go on, Wendy. She said, so that pissed Wendy off. Yeah, she said, because they all knew that this YouTuber started those rumors. Gizelle still wanted to mention it when the camera started rolling. That is true, but that's what Gizelle does.
She does. That's what I'm saying. You just got to know how to. And Wendy seemed to be bothered by it. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying, if you seem to be bothered by something and you come at me later on, saying stuff, you're antagonizing me like Wendy was doing to Mia. I'm just saying, you have to be able to fight fire with fire. Wendy does antagonize people. She will make you want to smack her in the face, but you can't. So you got to utilize your words. You got to be able to articulate yourself and penetrate through those deep layers to get through to those emotions of hers. And I would have got through to it because I would have been able to have mental notes on what affected her before.
That would be it. But after you keep going back and forth, how much? I mean, it depends. I feel like Wendy, she's at a place now. It would be hard to get her to break.
Well, you got to do it in a way. You got
to. How much can you say about her husband?
You keep saying it until people listen. This is an art for me, okay? Because I have people that have come at me, and I know because I smile a lot, I laugh a lot, I joke around a lot. So people take that as, they can come at me sometimes. So sometimes when they think that, you have to be able to set that boundary, come at them. Once you set the boundary, they know not to ever cross it again. Wendy would know not to ever come at me again. You're gonna stay back, far back. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah, so you're gonna know they're not gonna keep going back and forth with you. Once you put them in their place, that's it.
True. That's true. Shantae said Winnie's better reader than antagonizer. Not an antagonizer. I agree. She is. So the next thing Andy talked about, he said that Gizelle and Robin are hypocrites because of the situation that happened with Candiace and Monique. It was so funny because she's like, well, Monique beat up Candiace, and Candiace was like, and she said, well, Wendy just got a drink tossed in her face. I mean, it's still assault, but I kind of get it. Drink tossed in your face compared to being pulled and hit in your head is totally different.
Yeah.
And like Gizelle said, I don't like Wendy. I agree. If I don't like you, I wouldn't care if you got beat up or drink tossed in your face. I wouldn't give a damn what happened to you.
That's the truth. I was with Gizelle on that. She was just like, I don't like her. Like, I don't. And if somebody that I don't like, it's not like she got anthrax thrown in her face or some kind of cyanide. Like, it's water. To me, if I don't like you and somebody just got sick of you and threw some water in your face, messed up your hair, your wig, and everything that means a lot to you, I would have a little chuckle if I don't like you.
Because I'll be thinking, damn, I wanted to do that, or I didn't.
Exactly. What am I going to run to your aid? I don't like you. Yeah, what's wrong is wrong, but I'm sorry. We all are human. We would have a little chuckle and laugh on the sidelines.
And the same with Ashley. Ashley felt differently. She felt Monique was somewhat justified by what she did to Candiace, and that what Mia did to Wendy wasn't right. I mean, to be honest, people might not like me, but I think Candiace needed that beat down. Sometimes you need a pop in your head, like,
okay, no, you got some emotional issues, girl.
I'm just saying, sometimes. I'm just saying, when she was crazy. Now you gotta learn. And I'm not a violent person. I know how to control myself. What I'm saying is certain things you need to be aware of. If you're gonna say something, what happens after that? You better be prepared for it.
Yeah.
You hear me? Whether it's fighting or another verbal attack, Candiace spews things out of the mouth, thinking, "Oh, nobody could touch me." First of all, you're very small in size. Most of the women could plummet you in a second. She was a little bit too with her mouth. So I was Team Monique on that. I'm sorry.
I wasn't. Because then now you look like you violent. No one's gonna, you try to get some acting gigs later on or try to get on other shows. That comes back to haunt you. That's what I'm saying when I feel like when you got things to lose, you got to be able to think of the bigger picture and be able to control and kind of weigh your options there. And the option is not going to be to fight when I know I got stuff to lose. So what I am going to do is I'm going to have to fight back with words. I'm going to have to tear you down until you cry. So I'm not
have anything to lose. Her man had a job. She was on another show. She had a podcast. She had a lot of other stuff going on after beating down Candiace.
Yeah, but then you got off the show. Yeah, but then it's like it just wasn't worth it for me. Like, she got off the show, she left like in a bad light. Like, to me, it did nothing for her career. That did nothing for her. Now you back to being, what is she doing now? I don't follow her.
No, that's not funny. She got her Not For Ladies Z's mom going on. She was another a marriage, not Huntsville, but Marriage in Washington.
I never watched that, and I think okay, well, she lost the biggest platform.
She didn't come back. Let's get it twisted. It's not that they fired Monique. Monique quit. She said that. She said they asked her to come back. She didn't want to deal with the drama because she knew they were going to always try to put her in move with Candiace, work it out. She knew what they were going to do. She quit.
I get that she quit, but what I'm saying is that, like, she quit with her tail between her legs. Like, if you're going to do all that, you're going to beat somebody down and you want to be this big chick, this big bad chick, then you should come back and finish off the job and finish what you did. Like, maybe we would have thought about her in a better light. Like, maybe she could have, like, had better standing with, people that were against her, the ladies on the show. She could have done something, but to me, the way she left and the way she ended on Bravo, it was not good.
No, I mean, to some extent, yeah. So what movie she was kissing? Oh, so then it went back again. I don't know. I got my notes mixed up where Gizelle made a good point when Wendy and Mia were still going at it. Giselle's like, I don't understand. Like, she was like, I don't F with Mia, blah, blah, blah. And Wendy was like, Giselle's like, what? Weren't you guys pumping vaginas? Yeah, I don't understand how it seemed like they got along, the ending of the season. They did all this other stuff wherever they were on vacation, showing her vagina to Mia. And now you're saying, I don't F with her, I don't like all this stuff. I don't know if this is all being rehashed or because she now saw it on TV. I'm like, what the hell happened?
It is, but I think with Wendy, like she said, just like they was in a hotel and she forgave Mia when Mia came into her room and said sorry to her. When you do try to look past things, but I know there's sometimes, even with me, I try to look past things, but then you think about how you let so many things slide and that person's not worth it. And they still are doing little things, even at the reunion, when things start coming out and then you still doubling down on it and you really not apologetic. If you do something to me, I do want you to pour your guts out to me. Kiss my feet and be apologetic. Mia's not doing that. Mia's at the reunion kind of just all blah about it and not really apologetic. Like, I just feel like you threw water in the face, you bopped in the head. You was apologetic before, but now we're on the show and you want to sit there and act like you didn't do nothing. So to me, it would bring back feelings. I don't care if we hugged it out and patted vaginas. I still feel away.
I would not be patting no vaginas if I didn't like you. So Kai said, I'm catching up. And I don't know how to pronounce that first name, but the last name is Murray. And she said, Wendy is fraudulent. Oh, girl. You just came to tea. Why? Why are you saying that about Wendy? So now there was a big discussion that Andy decided to bring up in this episode. Well, not this episode, the reunion, which I thought was a good discussion, which was about colorism.
Mm-hmm.
I like the fact that Candiace read the definition.
Yes.
Everyone agreed with the definition. I too agreed with the definition. Candiace compared, there was a couple of things. Candiace compared how the fans, social media reacts to her actions compared to Robin's action. Who they feel have been aggressive, has been somewhat violent. When there was episodes of the past when she got into Ashley's face, she had an umbrella where she felt she wanted to basically hit Monique with it. She also said how people talk about her because she's being emotional. Gizelle did say something where I was like, well, why do you think that your being emotional has anything to do with colorism? That part I didn't understand when she mentioned her being emotional. Everything else I understood, but you being a crybaby has nothing to do with your skin tone. You're a crybaby. I think that would have been for anybody who was constantly crying.
But I think it's just that they hold, like, maybe Candiace is trying to say that they hold her to a different standard. Like, she's crying, she's weak. Like, like, I don't know. I just think, whatever she's experienced, she views it as, people are harder on her and maybe make fun of her more. Whereas if somebody was doing the same thing, they wouldn't think much of it.
So
that's
with
light
Andy
skin.
Sitting there as a white man, he knew the definition. I wanted them to, Candiace read the definition. I wanted them to touch base a little bit more that it's race on race. Because I don't know if Andy really understood what the heck was going on. He was just
I don't think he knows.
It's not white and black. It's black against blacks.
Yeah.
Light-skinned blacks against dark-skinned blacks. That's what it is. Or brown-skinned blacks. That's what I think they should have really touched on. Not, how Caucasians or white media sees us. We already know there's racism on that. But I think the colorism part that these ladies are talking in, like Beverly, like the Basketball Wives, it's more how other blacks treat other blacks. So Karen explained it, where she talked about that plantation where the light-skinned black person would be in the house and the dark-skinned black person would be outside in the field. This is generational. This is something that's been happening from slavery. So I like when she did that. I also like when Ashley acknowledged that as a light-skinned woman, she knows she has light-skinned privileges. We all know this. This is not surprising.
I appreciated that she recognized that and was able to tell us.
I appreciated she said that. I also like Mia saying that, well, I like the fact that Ashley pointed everybody out as far as having light-skinned privileges. She didn't point out Karen, but I consider Karen light-skinned, but she didn't point out Karen. She said me, Mia, Gizelle, and Mia and Robin. She didn't mention Karen. I like the fact that Mia mentioned she's raising a beautiful brown-skinned girl. If you're watching the show, Mia's daughter is dark-skinned.
Yeah.
So with this whole colorism thing, I won't say, growing up, I'm dark-skinned. Always been dark-skinned. Don't bleach my skin. I never had an issue with my complexion. What I did have an issue with was always saying, oh, you're pretty for a dark-skinned girl. Oh, your features are not that of a dark-skinned girl. I'm like, what? Like, it didn't make any sense to me. I didn't like that. Or when I had long hair, oh, is that a weave? Like, they assumed, oh, you're dark-skinned, your hair can't be a certain texture. You're dark-skinned, your hair can't be long. You're dark-skinned, they're expecting certain features, which they're not bad features. And they made you think, oh, because you don't have those features, you're so-called pretty for a dark-skinned girl. But again, in high school, the lighter-skinned girls always thought they were better than the darker-skinned girls. That wasn't in my picture. That wasn't in my eyes. So I do understand where that does happen, and happens in a lot of cultures. Oh yeah, she's, the light-skinned girl, the pretty light-skinned girl, the good hair, all that time. I don't really hear, oh, she's dark-skinned, pretty. You don't hear some turn out. You probably, oh, black and ugly. You hear that. Yeah. So I understand the colorism part, but me particularly, I don't think I went through my whole life or even my childhood battling that.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever battled anything. I mean, I'm fair skinned, but even I grew up in Catholic school where it was predominantly white people. So I know I've been exposed to racism, but like where you're kind of like treated differently. But that's with black and white. That's kind of like biased racism. But as far as like being exposed to, light skinned, I can't say I have, because I grew up in Catholic schools, like in my younger years into my teenage years. So I can't say I know about it, but I've heard about it through my friends that grew up around majority, went to school in majority, minority school and stuff like that. And I heard about it in other cultures. Spanish, Hispanics go through it. Indians go through it. Like everyone is treated better. The lighter, the more European features you have, you are treated better. And a lot of people do it. With my girlfriend who has, my white girlfriend who has mixed kids. She has one really light-skinned child who has green eyes. And then she has another daughter who's beautiful too and is dark skinned. But when she goes to the mall, when she goes out, she always tells me how everybody compliments the lighter skinned green eyed child, talk about how beautiful she is, while meanwhile her dark skinned daughter is right there. So now when people are doing that, she got to kind of point out, like, you're beautiful too. Like she's here, she's beautiful. Like, and she always, so she kind of has to compensate for the public and, her being exposed to this biasness. Like, so I get it. I've heard it. And, I haven't been exposed to it, but I know it's a thing.
It is a thing, but I'm happy they did speak about it. But I just felt that it should have been elaborated more, that this is something we're talking about in the Black culture. I don't know if it resonated with people that's not like.
And I don't think so. Even Gizelle, she like didn't even get it. Like, you have her children, to me.
She said, I have two brown skin or whatever color skin. She said daughters. Gizelle has to get it.
She was dismissive, though. I feel like she was kind of like, oh, what does this got to do? I don't get, like, what does this have to do with us? Like, to me, she was still being dismissive of it. And to me, like, her daughters are definitely like Gizelle. She has her hair dyed. To me, Gizelle and Robin are trying to look, even though they're mixed, to me, they're trying to look more whiter and have more, like, they really trying to, their hair is so blonde. Wigs are always European wigs that they have on. Like, to me, it's just like they try more to lean toward the European features than their Black features. And Gizelle's daughters, to me, they look straight up Black. So she should. Yeah. So it's like, to me, Gizelle should be able to relate to this and teach her daughters and try to be an example.
And I also agree the same goes for me. I don't see me with the blonde wigs, but you're being very fair skinned, looking biracial, which she says she's not, and having daughters browner skin or darker skin. What kind of message are you setting for them? That's his daughter. Her complexion is as dark as mine. Fair skin. So what are you teaching your kids that's dark skin to embrace their beauty? Because they don't look at my mom, oh, I wish I was like my mom. Oh, my mom is the one that's getting all the attention. Oh, this and that. So you got there. I don't know if they're thinking of that. And it happens a lot when it went with women. We see it now in social media. Everybody looking the same, long hair, light skin. It's there. You got to really scroll to find a dark skinned woman sometimes in social media.
Yeah.
So it's there in your face. And a lot of women, whether it's adults or children, that is their form of beauty now. Light skin, long hair, you have to look a certain way to fit
European features.
And in the Black community, it doesn't have to be European feature. You're light skin, you're good enough. So Kava said it sucks. She says colorism definitely exists. Joanne said, I'm sorry, I missed the colorism. Oh, you missed that segment, girl, rewind. Sadly, that issue is prevalent today and growing with the darker complexion friends. Those friends, girls, were treated horribly by other Blacks, especially by men. Well, we didn't even touch on that about Black men.
Exactly. You know they love the long weaves, wigs, whatever. They don't care. And they say they don't, but they do gravitate. You don't even got to say it. It's like what is on TV, what, is on media, the social media. Like a lot of people just gravitate toward that. They don't care if it's fake. They talk about the fake wigs, the fake hair, but they love it at the end of the day.
True. And again, what they see is what they think is the form of beauty. I have 2 Black sons. I'm teaching them Black women, light skin, dark skin, whatever it is, they're all beautiful. I make sure I see a dark skin. I'm like, oh, isn't she pretty? Look at your mother. Hello.
Yeah.
Like I try to educate them because they are, especially my older son, he's into that Instagram life. And in order to fit in, you need to have the Cardi B looking chick, the Nicki Minaj looking chick with the long hair, the light skin. I'm like, no, you could have a dark skin girl too. You can have anybody that you actually like, but don't go searching for that because that's what's supposedly in. That is the accessory, or that's the trophy looking chick. So I try to educate them, whatever. I don't know what they're going to end up with, but I try to educate them that don't go for what you feel is society's form of beauty.
Yes.
I said colors is intra-racial, but white people invented the practice, and you can see that the way not just the Black, but the white audience reacts to Candiace versus Ashley. Well, that is true.
Absolutely. I think white people too have that bias, like behavior. Like it is, the lighter you are, the more accepting they are of you. They already have a hard time. Some people that are racist, they'll have a hard time with being Black, but the lighter you are, the more, softer you'll seem. Like if I'm mad and, another light-skinned person that's lighter than me is mad, I'm going to seem like the aggressive, angry one because my skin is darker, whereas they might have the same level of angry, anger, but they're not going to seem as angry and as aggressive, but I will be because I'm darker. And that's just the way society has, that's just the thing.
She said Ashley has sent Katie to sent Katie to a mental break that had people say Monique was an alcoholic and caused her miscarriage. Harassed Karen while her parents were dying, did a background check on Robin. That is true. I mean, they all did stuff. I mean, Candiace is acting like she was such a nice person too. So Ashley did make a good point. Maybe people just don't like you. You can't always assume and throw the race card.
Yeah, but like Kai said, all like the stuff that Ashley did, like people are still accepting of her.
Ooh, I don't like Ashley.
Well, I think maybe not you, but maybe she's getting better. Maybe she's not getting as bad of treatment that Candiace is subjected to. Maybe Candiace is subjected to like hate and just vile like DMs, and Ashley maybe isn't exposed to what Candiace is getting exposed to.
That's true. And Ashley's also biracial, so she's probably getting some of the love from the white audiences compared to Candiace.
Yeah, and Ashley has a lot of like European features. Like you can tell she's mixed, but she got more, European going on.
That's true. Kai said Ashley has victim blame her husband, etc. How often do you see people say Ashley deserves her head bashed in? I say it. Say it all the time. I say it. I'm honest. But the truth is, we'll move on to the next topic. I don't think there's colorism amongst the ladies like they had in Basketball Wives. I think that these women, they go at each other. I don't feel like there's colorism. Or Karen don't like, what's her name? Candiace. Or Ashley don't like Candiace because she's dark skinned. I don't think there's colorism around in that group. And it's the thing with Wendy too, because Wendy, I'm not gonna lie, Wendy looked the best to me sitting there, and she's the darkest.
Yeah,
her glow, her face, her makeup, she is to be beautiful. And that was another thing that I felt Wendy at that point, being the darkest there, didn't speak up as much.
I think what Wendy and them were saying that, and I think Wendy is the one who kind of brought it out where they touched on colorism, is the way Robin was coming at her, and she got literally a drink and bopped in the head with a purse. And instead of going to Robin should have just stayed out of it. How you gonna come to me and say I'm being the aggressive one and being dark skinned? You coming up to me? I just got bopped in the head with somebody's purse and a drink thrown in my face. And the first thing you say to me is that I'm being aggressive and antagonistic. So to me, I do think I would feel like I'm being like, subjected to like, maybe some colorism or something's going on here.
Colorism, or the fact that like when Gizelle said Robin doesn't like Wendy.
But even if you don't like them, you're not going to come to somebody and say you're like trigger words that is like, toward like Black women, aggressive, antagonistic, loud, your behavior is unacceptable. Like, to me, Robin was saying a lot of red flag trigger words to Wendy being a dark-skinned woman.
I mean, again, is what your triggers are, how you feel, and who's coming from at that. I mean, it all depends. For me, I have to be in a situation who's saying it to me. People felt that Robin was being against Wendy because she was a darker skinned person, and some people felt she was saying it because she didn't like Wendy. And Wendy being a dark skinned woman, especially with being African, especially where she's worked, where she is, she's on a national platform. I know she has a lot of stories and a lot of triggers about her complexion. So Kai said Gizelle literally said the show is successful because the world never seen light-skinned, light-eyed, educated Black women. Oh, I know that. She said that. Light-skinned, light-eyed, educated Black women. They probably see that more than they do dark-skinned women.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I ain't here to say that. But anyway. But Gizelle and Robin do give me that energy that they thought they were all of that in high school. Like, I was pretty, I was light-skinned, I had light eyes.
Yeah.
They were the popular it girls. They probably bullied their classmates. Anybody know Gizelle from high school and Robin, hit us up because we want to know the tea how they were in high school. I could tell they were probably bees. Okay, moving right along with colorism. So the next topic is Jacqueline joins them on stage. She didn't look like an auntie. She actually looked nice compared to the picture we saw. It looked way better on TV than that picture she had on Instagram.
What picture?
Of Jacqueline. Remember when we talked about their outfits? Jacqueline.
Oh, I didn't like a lot of those outfits, so I don't know.
She looked nice on camera. Mia said both
she does.
Should have done better. She did admit that both of them should have done better on camera. Jacqueline said it was devastating. Mia was dragging her to elevate herself to make her look like a peasant. I agree. That's exactly what Mia was doing. That's exactly what Mia did. You look like a peasant, Jacqueline.
Exactly. And I'm just glad that Jacqueline is coming on to kind of like, stronger. To me, she's exhibiting a strong woman vibe. As before, to me, she crying all over the place, scurrying away. She seems to try to get back into Mia's good graces. Like, to me, it seemed like Jacqueline is coming with guns blazing. Okay. And I love it. When somebody's able to hold their ground, stand their ground and not waver. This is the Jacqueline that I knew was there. When she first started coming at Candiace and kind of doing little, showing some signs of strength. But then she kind of just retreated back and then she started crying and stuff. So to me, at the reunion, she seems to be coming in strong, coming in hot.
Yeah. I like coming in hot.
Yes.
I liked her in part 2. Mia says she was overwhelmed with supporting Jacqueline. Jacqueline didn't look like Jackie. She looked a little needy. She did look like she was needy. And Mia had to step up. Even when they were on the trip asking Mia for everything, she did look like she is that needy friend.
She is, but I don't think you come. It's just like with the Robin and Gizelle scenario. Like when it's your bestie, your friend, to me, it's like you go to them, you talk to them on the side, you tell them, but you don't expose them on national TV. And this is a friend of the show. To me, it's just like you got to have a little bit more respect for your bestie, like Gizelle and Robin do. The way Mia treated her was like a peasant. Like that wasn't even a friend. She was trying to elevate herself on the show. And she used her best friend as like a stool, a doormat.
And Jacqueline said her family is disgusted by Mia, which they should be.
Yeah.
And Mia sent a group chat. I mean, I'm assuming it's the whole group of the cast about Jacqueline's houses in foreclosure and food stamps. And Kai said Mia was doing everything from releasing videos, calling her job, go to have her fired. She has high security clearance for the government. What do you mean high? What? Who has high clearance for the government? She has high security clearance for the government, the text messages about foreclosure and food stamps. I mean, I don't know. I heard there were some things going back and forth. So yeah, Mia, she said, Kai said Mia is a nasty piece of work. Jacqueline said she literally was just missing deodorant and asked to borrow Mia's spray for the one night until she could go buy one. Yeah, Mia was very nasty too. I'm on Jacqueline.
That's what I'm saying. If that's your best friend, listen, my friends get on my nerves too, but I'm going to speak to them about it. Even if I was on a show, like, I'm big on substantiating your existence on the show and doing all that. But when it comes to my best friend, my real homegirl, I'm not going to expose. I'm going to be like how Jacqueline and Robin. I mean, I'm going to be how Robin and Gizelle are. There's going to be a certain point where I'm still going to set a boundary for us and my friendship to be able to still be able to have our friendship intact after the show. I would never throw my friend under the bus like Mia did to Jacqueline. Never. That's unacceptable.
Hi, Charm CC. So Kai said Jacqueline works for the Department of Defense. I didn't know that. So
yeah, I heard that. She said that throughout some of the show, like she works for the government. She did mention that.
I like that Jacqueline threw shade right in Mia's face and said that Mia's talking all this stuff and she knows the tea about Mia's business that's in shambles. So she knows a lot that's going on with Mia.
Yes, and she's bringing it, guns blazing. And that's what I like. When you're able to fight fire with fire and you don't waver, this is the Jacqueline that I want to see. So and I've said before that I know Jacqueline, to me, out of all the friends on shows and even other franchises, Jacqueline to me stood out. Like I knew she had some fire in her. I knew it.
Well, I don't think she's coming back next season. But Charles, really? Jacqueline works for the Department of Defense. Yeah, girl, I know that ain't either. And they allowed her to go on reality TV. Interesting. Maybe they didn't know that she was going on reality TV.
I think she probably got permission and stuff. I think, I've met, I've had like friends that work for governments and that have been like informants and stuff. And it's like, you just get permission.
Oh, I didn't know she worked there. Kai said Mia needs help. She came on the show trying to tear down people and always come back at her. That's true. It always come back at her. So the funny part is at the end, they both were pulling out documents. I'm like, how do both people bring out documents? Like, we had Monique with the binder. You got people that bring receipts. But what the hell is in these folders? Look at manila folders we had back in the
But I think that's what it goes back to what I was saying. Like, you got to come prepared, though. Like, you got to know you can't just be on the offense. You got to be on the defense, too, and be prepared for what somebody might throw at you. So I think they both tried to come prepared, and we'll see what they have. Hopefully, it's not some weak evidence, and that's like, weak tea. So I'm thinking they might bring it, but it seems like today when I looked at Mia's Instagram and on some of the group chats about Bravo, it seemed like Mia is on an apology tour. She's apologizing to Jacqueline, everybody right now. She's going the therapist is doing good with her.
She needs to, because she's trying to solidify her position next season, which I think she will have one. I think they may want to bring Jacqueline.
I don't know. I just feel like she's doing too much, where it just seems too dramatic, where she's grasping at straws. Once you start grasping at anything and you trying to throw stuff and it's not like it's outlandish stuff. When she started accusing Wendy and cheating and sleeping with Peter, that's when I knew like you're trying anything to substantiate your existence, and you can't do it that way. You got to really come with like some real tea. Not something that you just, manufacturing up. It got to be something with substance. So and I don't think Mia has substance.
Charm said that was hilarious. Mia had blank papers. How you know she had blank papers? I didn't get to see. I just saw it looked like a manila folder.
Well, we'll know next week.
Mia apologizes and deleting. She deleted apologies already. She apologized and deleted.
You know what's funny? I'm glad Kai mentioned that, because I saw her apologies in some of the Facebook groups. And so I went to Mia's Instagram to see, like, is she really like, I wanted to see some of the comments and I didn't see nothing on her page, but I saw all the screenshots in the groups. So I think she did delete. Like Kai said, she had to delete them because they were gone when I checked it out.
Well, I got them because you sent them to me. So, Charm said, unfortunately, I think she'll be back because she shares so much. I think she'll be back. And I honestly want Mia to come back. I want to see how you live without living off your savings. I want to see that.
I don't know. The cancer story, the Wendy, you bopping people in the head because you throwing tantrums. I just think a lot of stuff, like she hasn't found her footing. Like she's still kind of shaky on shaky ground. I don't know. I just feel like somebody else could use that position that has more, staying power. I just don't think she has it. You coming up with cancer stories. She did too much.
I do want her to come back because I want to see how she's struggling with her business, what's going on.
She's such a liar. You just don't know what's up. She doesn't come across as authentic. I don't want somebody that I don't know if they're telling the truth or they, manufacturing up, stuff to just make it sound good and make it look good. Because I feel like that's what she did the whole season.
Well, in that case, Karen needs to go. Robin needs to go. Gizelle needs to go.
But those were little incidents. Yeah, but those were like one incident, like with Karen, she might be having extramarital affairs or an agreement, whatever she got. And Robin with the Juan situation, it is these are one like stories, big stories that each of them kind of try to hide, or they trying to hide. With Mia, her whole life seems to be like fictional. So I don't know. Like to me,
compared to Robin with her cheating husband.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's one incident though. But you still see their lives. You still see like Juan. You saw how Juan kind of he doesn't really like Robin. To me, he doesn't really show that he loves her. Like you don't see them together. Karen with her husband, they might have an agreement where they seeing other people, but those are still like one incident. With Mia, she's new and she got way too many things going on with her.
Cancer story. Maybe she thought she had cancer.
Oh, please.
Maybe she thought she had cancer and put it out there.
Okay, you have businesses, you open up businesses everywhere. You got 20 businesses. The next minute, they all shutting down. Your uncle or whoever stole from you. Like, it's just too much. It's too much fakeness going on. We don't got time for that. Next.
So Charm said, I'm just saying because she's always lying. Charm said, if that's the case, then Robin should be fired. Robin hopefully is going to be fired.
One story, okay, she lied. She covered up the one story. That's one. She's been on there for so many seasons. I do think she should be fired too. But I think Mia is a priority for termination. Okay.
So Kai said, I don't need to see now one thing about Mia. She said, I'm mad. I know about her existence.
Oh, exactly. That's how I'm feeling. I'm like, she needs to go. She needs to be the first one to go before even Robin. And I want Robin to go too, because she needs to be punished or she needs to be demoted as a friend, Robin. But Mia, I just think I want to like her. I do. But she's manufacturing up too many stories where I just don't feel she deserves this position. No.
I don't like Mia. Not that I like her. I just want to see how she's going to I guess, lie her way more into this.
Exactly. I don't want to see no more lies. No, I don't want to see no more lies. She had her chance and she failed miserably.
She did. So that was the end of the part 2 of the Housewives of Potomac. We'll be here next week to talk about part 3, where one last comment. Charm said, I'm not a fan of Mia, by the way. Neither am I, Charm, with you. So thank you for joining. Please continue to like, subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you watch Jersey Housewives, we'll be on that live soon in about the next, 10 minutes. If you don't watch it, join anyway, because we always talk about our personal experiences. Still great girl chat. Okay?
Yes.
So, bye, ladies. And if there's any guys here, bye.
Toodles.